For Redlands, there's a heat advisory in effect. We'll have a clear sky this morning, sunny through the day, high 104. The desert cities, an excessive heat warning for sunshine, high 116. I'm meteorologist Jim Manali for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. And look, today is honestly, it's it. This is the last day for the morning show. Not gonna lie, I never liked my name on it, but they said, "Oh, put your name on it." There are people that say, there's other morning shows. I said, okay. And then, because there are, right? I think Aniston they did a whole show on, it's called The Morning Show. And I'm like, that looks like our logo, not going to lie. We did ours first. But, anyway. So the last part with my name, I really wanted it just like with friends. But, it happens that way. It was weird that, our well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so the point is, that's it. We're done, but we still have a show. So this is it. So if you want to say anything in social media, let us know. And we'll again, sometimes we don't get to every single one because we actually are on multiple. And download the app. We do, look, the next guys, which they have a whole different show. It's not the show that we have. And Jess, do you have the name of that?
Name of what show? The one that's taking over 8 to 9?
Yes.
Yes, it is called This Morning with Solivity.
Yeah, so This Morning with Solivity, that's the show. They actually were on Thursday and Friday. I think they're removing that, and then they're doing daily 8 to 9. Okay, so now, having said that, I'm not going off air. In fact, I'm staying with KMET, and I'm going to, there's a show, and I keep saying it, it's an entertainment show. I got away from it. Some of you actually remember some of our entertainment interviews and some of our, but in 2020, everything went south. So I was like, kind of like it's going now with media because it's all about strike and it's all about, do you think they're going to come to an agreement soon, Jess?
The writer and actor strike?
Yeah.
I hope so. I really do.
Yeah, me too. If they do, I think it'll be like, yay, finally, because, they got to promote. I mean, there's still movies out. There's still stuff to see. In fact, there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, so, and I have a lot of people in the biz, but are we going to be able to talk, because I don't want to talk about strike. That is so boring. So boring. Why do I want to talk about strike? Because, at some point it's going to be over and you go, okay, because I think some people are going to regret some of the things they're saying because they forget about long-term effects. You know what I mean? You ever say something about someone and then it comes around and you go, I remember you saying that about, they go, well, right? So that's happening as we speak. It shouldn't, but it does, and then it puts a bad taste in somebody's mouth, and then you think, oh, I'll get hired. No, we don't want you back. And you go, oh, got it. So there's a lot of people that I go, look, if there's a potential person that's going to hire you, right, or you want to be hired eventually with that company, why would you say anything bad about them? Unless they did something that wasn't right, that was illegal. I get that. I've had that happen, but I don't throw them under the bus by saying their name, especially publicly. They know who they are. And they have done some weird things, not gonna lie. But I do think I have to return something to someone, which I do not want to see. But I'm gonna have to see them and just say, hey, let's let bygones be bygones, right? And then just let things kind of, because I think in 2020 people lost their mind. Did you ever have okay, I'll give you an example, and I'm saying this because I had one person that I was actually talking to, and I said, look, and she said the weirdest thing. She said her guy, literally in the middle, came home and said, forget it. And she had a baby on the way. And she was like, he lost his mind. And then days later, he came back and, because he was going to kick her out because they were living together. He was going to kick her out. His baby. And I'm like, what's that about, right? She said, I don't know. And I said, well, maybe give him time, And then, because I was going through my own thing. I was. But and then, a couple days later, she was glad that she did give him time because then he came back. He says, I lost my mind. I don't know what I was doing or thinking. He got confused in his head. It was the weirdest thing. So I don't know. I haven't checked on them, but it's social media. You guys, hey, sometimes people comment. I think it started with one of those things I was promoting, and then we just started talking. She goes, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I said, well, just give it time. Just give it time. He'll make sense. And then he did. Thank God. I don't know what happened after that. I didn't follow up. But that could have been a whole family out on the street all of a sudden during coronavirus. Do you remember that, Jess?
Oh, yes. I think it started way a little bit before that. For me, everyone went crazy when someone got stabbed over a chicken sandwich. So yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, there was what was it? It was what was it? Popeye released like their chicken sandwiches and they were selling out everywhere. And yeah, someone got stabbed because he was being robbed for his chicken sandwich. It was the craziest story.
And there are still weird ones coming out every day. It's the weirdest thing. Ever since 2020, I think everyone lost it. It's like I think, and I keep saying this. In 2020, I remember New Year's. Yay! I mean, it was obvious. 2020. It looked really cool, right? The worst year ever. The worst year ever, right? A lot of people lost their life. We had 1 million. Which I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if the math is right because I'm like, I know a few people that have died, but I'm like, who are the million that died? Because it's like people just kind of don't, you know what I mean? Who are the million that died in 2020 to 2021? You know what I mean? There have been people disappearing. I go, are they going to get back like that? Right? Because I think I saw a report where someone who was missing, I think around the same time, around 2020, I don't know, maybe it was earlier than that, was found. It was a little kid. And I was like, that's awesome. I didn't see anything else of the story. I don't know the story, but it's like people are. I remember one story about a dog that disappeared and all of a sudden came back like years later, right? We've had those stories. But anyway, so that's what I'm wondering. It's almost like the vanishing in some ways. I remember like there were places where they looked like ghost town-ish. I remember going around like in certain months in 2020, I was like, it looks like a ghost town, seriously. But yeah, so, and that was, again, coronavirus, but man, oh man. Oh, by the way, Jess, did you see in the news lately, they've been streaming it everywhere, and maybe you follow them. They've been talking about, I don't know if people are ready for this, but since we're off the air, I might as well talk about UFOs, or as they call it, UAPs, which seriously makes no sense.
Yeah, I've seen clips, bits and pieces of it, not too much.
Yeah, so it was a hearing, and you could tell they're like, guys, you're putting us in harm's way. I think they heard from several people, not just the person that say, I'm not gonna lie, I don't follow it all the way through. But when you look at it, you go, that person really experienced something. And the other person says, look, they disappear out of nowhere. Now I will say this. In 2020, I noticed a lot of stuff in the sky. And so it was like, what are you looking at, a spaceship? I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? And that was in 2020. But I was just looking up at the sky because I'd like to do, typically during the day, there's this exercise that I do. Some of you may have done it, some of you may have never done it. But you close your eyes, you look up to the sun, and you just kind of like chill in it. You just bask in it. You probably never done that, Jess. But it's like sunbathing. Somebody said you can regain or recharge yourself that way. And I was like, that makes sense. So I just looked up at the sun, closed my eyes, and just, if you see it, because you can't look at the sun directly, it's going to hurt you. But if you look at your eyelids, look, like, what color is that? You ever done that, Jess?
I do that sometimes. I do.
Okay, see. The way you gave me that face, I was like, maybe you thought I was weird for doing it.
No.
I don't do my butt up to the sun. Remember that guy?
Yes, I do remember that story, and I'm not willing to say whether or not I do that. I don't know. I'm
You should know, man. You should know. No, I've never done that. That would be weird, especially if you were like, but I was just looking up like that, and then I closed my eyes, and I was like, why are you looking at a spaceship? What are you talking about? But anyway, there were some weird things in 2020 at night. You don't see them during the day, although I do have some footage, which I go, is it? Why did it stay there? But it looks like a balloon, not gonna lie, so I'm not gonna post it. But anyway, so that's the thing coming up in the next, but we're not gonna talk about that anymore, because that's it. Bye bye. We're not going to talk about stuff like that. Now it's entertainment, which is bored as all get out. But I have to talk about it because that's the show. So I can't wait to get people to replace me for that. So anyways, that's the good thing is I'm coming to what I would call something I wanted to do before 2018. I had all these thoughts about like the show, and then I got kind of distracted. Now I'm going back to it. I'm kind of picking up where I left off. So now it's I don't even know what to call it just yet, except I'm putting. Go ahead, Jess. What do you want to say?
No, you know what entertainment show I missed? It was, I don't remember their names. It was a big guy and a skinny guy, and they would be really mean at movies critics.
No, you did not say a big guy and a skinny guy, Jess. Siskel and Ebert?
Oh, that's their name. I haven't heard that name in nearly 20 years. So
Did you
Yeah,
like them?
I did. I liked the reviews because they were honest. Like sometimes one would like it, the other one wouldn't. But you know what? I like their difference in opinions.
Okay, okay. Thank you for saying that. I was like, what happened? They disbanded and then one of them died. So, yeah, yeah. The big guy died. The big guy. And he was always the one that I was like, I think he's right. The other one was like, no, I like it. But I felt like he was being bought. You know what I mean? Because they were legitimate. Like, I liked it, but. And then they would give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? No one could do that after them because they had kind of owned it, right? And they would do it in a movie theater. And I'm like, dude, you guys have a lot of time. And right? Wasn't it fun? Okay, not going to lie. I want to do a show. Shout out to Jeanette Sandoval and Naibe Reynoso, okay? I was going to do a show with them. And it was going to be a perspective like that, but from women and me as the guy. They were like, no, we want you. I said, okay. But we were not going to do all guys like Siskel and Ebert. We wanted to do women and guys. Now, since then, there's been a lot of things that I've seen, but usually they do like of series. They do, okay, what do you think is going to happen, right? And they do the talk about that. Those are good. Those are fun, right? I could do that. I would do that. We could have Welling on the show. He's doing that. We have a lot of people on the show, right? You know, because Welling is smart. And you said it, Jess. What's he doing?
Tom Wellings, I believe he's still doing acting. I know he has his podcast, and I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, everybody has a podcast, but you know what? They don't get paid for it. They put in the time, you know, and they have friends that they can call and go, hey, you want to be on it? Yeah, sure, man. You know, and they're kind of like out of it, you know, meaning the industry, but they're kind of in it, so they got to be careful because if they say something, I've had people literally be on the show and they go, can you take that down? I go, why? They say, it's really because they said something wrong or they kind of misrepresented. And I was like, then don't put it in your information. I'm going to call it out. If you say you work with a certain company, then all right. And then sometimes they go, well, I, didn't do that much with them. Well, if you did a day, I get it. But if you did like, and some people kind of under what they do. So I've had so many people that I go, I had one interview. I remember this is before I actually had the entertainment show, or did I? No, I don't think I did. Anyway, and I had it. I'm not going to say the name. A very famous celebrity. But she was like, thank you. I appreciate it. And then she, not going to lie, she kind of went weird. And she was supposed to have kind of weird stuff. She went disappearing, I'm not going to lie. And then there was like something that happened the other day. I was like, there could be an actress that I know. But I hate to say that. Did you see the one that got chopped up again and was in suitcases and they have her image going all around? She looks like a friend of mine, not gonna lie. I was like, So I went to the Instagram of the friend and I was like, you have not posted since February, what's going on? And it's one of those, like, if I say, is this you? She'll be like, no, it's not me. Because it kind of looks like her in the eyes. But then I go, oh, maybe it's not. But it's an artist depiction. Did you see that, Jess?
I did not see that. Did you say somebody in the suitcase?
You didn't see that? Yeah, it's all over town. It's yeah. Well, they chopped her up, put her in a suitcase. I don't know why people do that, Jess. I don't know why people do that. But they're putting her picture up everywhere, and they're like, who is this? We don't know who this is.
Yeah, oh my God, I have not heard of that story. You know what? I've read so many stories, I just kind of get numb to it, and then I just forget about it.
Yeah, here it is. Suitcase murder mystery. Florida police release sketches of woman found in 3 bags in water. In water. She looks like an actress in the eyes. The rest, not really.
Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I have not seen this story yet. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's bad. Let's see. Here it is. 3 suitcases with human remains were found in a body of water in South Florida last week, and now police have a better idea of whom the victim may be. Oh, good. This is an update. Delray Beach Police Sergeant Casey Kelly shared photos Wednesday of an artist rendering of the woman who was, oh, wow, they're going into some details. Never mind. You're not going to hear this. Again, this is stuff I never talked about. Oh, Solidity is so much lighter than this, so you're going to be fine with it. She's just going to be like, yeah, you're going to talk about this. Let's see. Yep. Okay. You don't hear about that. You don't want to hear about that. Here's the description. Police said they believe the woman was a 5'4" white or I'm not going to say what it is because you're going to think it's one thing. Between 35 and 55 years old with brown hair and tattooed eyebrows. That was the giveaway. I go, if she has tattooed eyebrows, I almost can guarantee that's not the person It says, police release a reconstructed image of what the unidentified woman might look like. That's how bad it was, Jess. Might have looked like. Ugh. Police said it's important for the public to know that these reconstructed images are not an exact likeness of the woman or her clothing. They are the interpretation of the arts. People who are along the, and then they say, any tips should be directed. See, I don't want to call the guy because I go, well, the eyes look kind of like her, but it doesn't. It looks like her older, maybe like she let herself go. So I really got to check on that friend. Anyway, if you have a friend and they haven't been posting, I'd say check in on them and say, hey, how you doing? Let's see what they say, right? Because some people are going missing, seriously. It's like, what's going on there? So anyway, or people reporting weird stuff, right, Jess? Anyway, all right, so we got to take a break. We got more. We'll be right back.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience, handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers, with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now. New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. By the way, I'm kind of struggling here, not going to lie. I'm kind of feeling like that poor representative. My God, he locked up in such a bad way. I don't know why people are not calling that out. I saw a couple of reports and I said, well, he obviously had a stroke. But you ask people, what does that look like? They go, oh, well, it's a stroke, man. The guy of course he's going to say he's fine. Look at the moment. When you lock up like that, that's a stroke. I know stroke victims. If you've ever taken care of a stroke victim, that's what he had. So that's the answer. But no one's saying it. I don't know why. Anyway. And then I saw this, Jess. By the way, I know you're going to see, one of the shows coming out, right? But I'm going to say this, Oppenheimer, it's long. I don't think your woman's ready for that. I would probably say, do you want to watch that? And she'll say like, no, or she'll see it. She's like, I'm bored. Here it is. Oppenheimer, evidently, and this is the thing. If you don't know, it's kind of like, do you want to kind of give like why people should watch it, Jess? Because I know you say you want to see it.
I want to see it because I think the whole creation of the atomic bomb is just fascinating. Not necessarily them dropping it and having the people see the bright light and flash, but just the fact on what we had to go through during that time to make such a device. It's crazy.
You'll like it. You'll like it. But I guarantee it's long. It's long. But here's the headline, and this is actually very interesting because they kind of allude to it, but you don't understand it unless you know the history of it. There's a moment where they test the bomb, okay? And they do it from a distance. You go, oh, that's not so bad. Then what are they talking about? But they did it small. They did it small. But they put on stuff. One guy puts on a bunch of stuff on his face. Another one is behind like glass. And like, I'll be fine. I'm protected. And they allude to it. It's called radiation. So here's the headline, Jess. In the wake of Oppenheimer, lawmakers approved compensation for radiation victims. Yeah, that's a thing. So I'm actually glad it's coming out, but you go, why did it have to be Oppenheimer that would do it? Seriously. It says the Senate voted to expand compensation for victims of radiation exposure. The U.S. Senate voted to expand compensation for victims of the radiation exposure that resulted from nuclear arms development in the American Southwest on the heels of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, taking in $80 million at the box office last week. Some Navajo Nation residents, it doesn't even talk about them, not going to lie. It says, who are among the most affected by nuclear fallout and environmental contamination. They don't talk about this in the movie, Jess, but evidently it was a thing. Were previously ineligible for compensation under the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, which was originally created as an expeditious, low-cost alternative to litigation, according to the DOJ. The amendment passed Thursday as part of the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act will offer an expanded group of largely Navajo radiation victims the opportunity to receive compensation. Navajo Nation President Dr. Boo Nigrin, says that while the passage is a step in the right direction, the Navajo people have largely been erased from the story told in Oppenheimer. Well, Oppenheimer, why did they say that? The story, yeah, because Oppenheimer cannot cover everything. It's the three armies. What do you say? You go, there's no room. The new movie, Oppenheimer, seems representative of this country's international exclusion of... Oh, they're going in another direction. Okay, they're just saying, look, they should say, look, it brings attention, but you forget about other people who were there on that reservation, which you happen to have kind of tested everything, and we were maybe... I don't know where they were in they weren't in the exact area, but they were in the affected area, if that makes sense. So now they're saying, hey, and so it's actually good, because sometimes people go, oh, yeah, right. And now it's out there, and people will say, what? Because it happened in an area, Jess. Here it is. Let's see. September 11, 1945, file photo. Because this is a picture. It's like, it looks like nothing's around there, right? The bomb testing, but again, atomic or nuclear, in, this is a different one, because they say a different area. Anyway, this one is Alamo Gordo, New Mexico. It shows the shallow crater dug by the blast 300 feet around the tower from which the bomb hung. The sand in the area. And that's the big tower that you see in Oppenheimer. You go, what is that? It's right before they actually... Because they're really testing to see if it's going to be big. But what they didn't do was all the calculations of how it's going to affect people, as they would say, radiation. And that's the part that, along with, I think, the blast and the way it kind of leaves you, it leaves you dust. It leaves you dust. You will be dust. You will be incinerated. That's how bad it is. Okay? You're not even blown to smithereens. It's so quick and fast. If you're in a certain radius, you're dust. And in a moment of it, you go, why does he see that? Then he sees people throwing up. It's very graphic. It's very graphic. It's not... I think they need to edit it for an audience. And they're getting some blowback on that because there's some scenes that are very adult, just so you know. So, I think, yeah. So that's the answer. But anyway, so there you go.
There's a few stories I've heard from like nuclear testing. I think it was one event in 1957, July 19.
Yeah.
They were still testing these bombs and what's safe and whatnot. So apparently they had 5 guys and a photographer stand below an explosion. Obviously it's like 65 miles, or it's just like way up in the atmosphere, but yeah, no, they stood under it.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. Radiation, okay? And people think, oh, okay, that's why you put lead on you when you get an X-ray. Radiation did a lot of things, okay? They should have seen it, but they didn't know because they were at the beginning of it. They didn't understand it. X-rays, way back when, used to be, and it's very interesting if you look at like what people do when if something comes out. So I say, not ready, not ready, not ready. I don't want a neural implant. No, 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 no. Because they don't, or they don't think about it, right? But there are problems that happen, and then you go, oh, we need to have safety there. You don't have a lot of, because they used to have, okay, there was this thing where you would put your feet in it, and you could see your feet's bones, okay? It wasn't like one of those gimmicks. Do you remember that, Jess?
So in the early 1900s, yes, they were like home X-rays, and they were incredibly dangerous. Yeah, tons of people would be getting radiation poisoning, cancer, and all because like the salesman is like, here, try this, try this.
Yeah, tumors. It's horrible. And if you do that to your head, forget it, right? But that they say, and that was unfiltered, okay? That's why they say, are you pregnant? Are you this or that? Because it could affect even the smallest little atom in a way when you think about it. We're all atoms when you think about it, combined together that come kind of out of nowhere. It's kind of interesting when you do that. Like, go watch, oh, you're not ready for it. Quantumania, that's the answer. So how small can we go? How small are we in the big scheme of things? I think that's going to come out. There's some information coming out about space. They go, we don't know what we're seeing. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so there's the answer. Go ahead, Jess.
No, that's yeah, the whole nuclear bomb testing is just crazy, but a lot of weird things came out of it, like Godzilla.
Yeah, movies. I know. Well, that's Japan saying thanks a lot, guys. You brought us nuclear. Anyway, okay, but and you know what? Speaking of which, there is another story about that. Fukushima is back in the news, right? And I go, why would you do that? Did you guys learn nothing about nuclear that we have said? Let's see if it's still up. Sometimes they refresh. Oh, Fukushima official release of water, a milestone. You know why that's bad for everyone, but no one's going to say it? Okay, let's go with the good. Why is that a good thing, Jess?
Fukushima. This is the nuclear plant that melted down, right? Or had like a problem?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming they're re-releasing some of the water from that plant?
It's funny they say re-releasing because I thought they did release it, or they were releasing it and then they go, oh, we have to get permission. They go, oh, come on, we just want to let it go. It's called infected or nuclear water. You don't want that in the ocean. Why do you not want that in the ocean? Because it affects mutation. It affects mutated things. You're going to see mutated animals come out of the water. You do not want to be in water like that. Now, I know what they're saying. We treated it. It's all right. It's not all right. All right, back to the other story. They're saying there's a lot of Navajo Nation that was in the affected area, but, you know, they get because it stays there. If you go to the area where the nuclear... Look, don't go to the area. Go with one of those, like... Or what? How do they... Richter...
It is called a Geiger counter.
Geiger! Thank you.
If you want to stay away from these areas, all you have to do is watch the movie The Hills Have Eyes, and you will never go there again.
There you go. How much are those Geiger? Because I have a question on that, seriously. But back to this, okay? If they do a Geiger on this water, I can almost guarantee they'll still see it go. It may be low level, but it's still enough. It's just bad. It's bad for our oceans. But anyway, here it is. Fukushima plant official says the coming release of treated water, a milestone for decommissioning. What is that? Wait, what does that mean? Did they decommission it? A top official in charge of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant says an upcoming release of the treated radioactive water into sea more than 12 years after the meltdown disaster marks a milestone. Oh, so they did release it. Okay, so they did release it. Yeah, there's no problem with that. We learned nothing about nuclear. Okay, that's the problem with okay, forget radiation. Forget that. Fallout. I don't think a lot of people, they should show this in schools, okay? Fallout. What is Fallout? And you're right, Jess. I think the generation of today, if they understand certain games, they go, oh, that's how you get people like with their limbs falling off out of nowhere. Yes. That's that.
What game has people's limbs falling off? Oh my God. What games are you playing?
Any zombie game. What do you think those movies are, Jess? We just said it. The Hills Have Eyes. Isn't that what it is?
Aren't made by radiation.
What?
A lot of those zombies aren't made by radiation. Are they made by radiation? I don't know.
They can be. Think about it. Why do you think they're like, ugh, and they have like, there's no skin there? It fell off, Jess. It fell off. It falls off. Think about it. It falls off. Anyway, that's radiation. Okay, so that's what happens with nuclear is a chemical reaction that honestly it goes. That's the problem. Every other bomb doesn't do that. Every other bomb explodes you, but it doesn't have a chemical reaction like that. Okay, so that's the problem. It is fascinating when you go, wow, the way cells like do that, how it's so tiny. And I remember that in school. They said, the atom is so tiny, but if you can, they would use the word harness it, but you don't want to harness the atom. The atom, if you can create a explosion, it creates a problem for everyone long term. That's what you need to remember, because it stays in the air. It stays in the air. Others don't stay in the air. For some reason, atom doesn't. You cannot dissipate it 100%. You can kind of like let it go out into space at some point and like expand out of But there's radiation, technically they say everywhere, and they call it noise from space technically because there's other atoms that have exploded in certain galaxies that make it our way. But, they say that's called, well, what are you going to do, right? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to mutate, right? You're going to mutate. Then they call it the X gene. No, anyway. So there you go. I as long as it's because of the powers, I'm all right with that. But I don't want to turn into, the Thing. Do you want to turn into the Thing, Jess?
Obviously, that delay is obviously yes, so...
You're thinking hard about that, Jess. Oh, you want to be the Thing. Yeah, but you don't want to be that because then you're all, trust me, your woman's going to be like, dude, I cannot do anything with that. You go, neither can I. All right, so there you go. That's the answer. Okay, you think it's good. It's not good. It's not good. Remember, that's why he's always depressed. The Thing's always depressed. His lady's like, that's why he goes with someone blind because she doesn't see him. Remember that, Jess? You'd have to go with someone blind, Jess.
Yes, I remember.
He was hideous. The comic makes him look good, but he was hideous. That's really what he was. They don't tell that story. Anyway, all right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more. Don't be the Thing. You don't want to be mutated like that. We'll be right back right after this.
KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
Summer in the Inland Empire. You know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working cool before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your number one source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
Jitters Coffee, a coffee shop that gives a double shot of quality. We offer top shelf coffee at a great price. Brewed hot or cold, you won't find a better cup of joe. Not a coffee connoisseur? Then try our Red Bull infusions to energize your day. We also have delicious pastries and sweets, baked in-house or flown in from the best bakeries in the country. Jitters Coffee, Come on in and enjoy your jitters.
Check out our newest location located in downtown Benning at the corner of Ramsey and San Gregorio.
Hello, listeners. This is Christopher from The Christopher Show. Hey, if you missed one of our shows here at KMET, don't worry about it. You can go to our webpage, and that's KMET1490am.com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We got a lot of things going on. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, remember, download the app. It's free, and we will be on next Thursday. Okay, that's what I have, and that's what we got. And Applebee's will be with us, so we're not going anywhere 100%. We're just not going to be on at the 8 o'clock. So if you, I guarantee I'm going to get messages like this. What's going on? Why are you not on? I'm going to say, no. We're and then people will see like the other show. They'll be like, are you gone from the, I go, no, I'm not gone. I'm just, we have a different show. That's it, but yeah, they do something about that. It's like, whoa, yay, you have a daily show. Then you go back to what you were doing, and then they go, oh, wow. And you go, I'm still busy, seriously. So anyway, that's the answer. So there you go. All right, Jess, what's going on in the world?
So I'm excited. Apparently they're going to be reviving an old TV show from the 80s.
Okay, wait. Okay, the 80s. Okay, the 80s, old TV show. Hold up. We're going to be reviving. Because I've had some thoughts of some that they should revive. But, Highway to Heaven would be a really good revival, just so you know.
That would be a cool show. I did like that show, but unfortunately, no. This person, the character is from the planet Melmac.
Oh, they cannot replace Mark. No. Is it that one?
Nope, wrong show. I believe that was from the 70s.
Okay, good. Okay, I was gonna say wrong one is not replaceable. Okay, go ahead.
No. This character is from the planet Melmac, and he likes to eat cats. It is the TV show Alf.
Alf is back! Oh my God! Yes. Okay, you know what? Happy. I hope they go with it. Yeah, they may go with a different one, but whatever. Bring it. The kids are ready for it. Awesome. Okay, who's gonna be in it, Jess?
You know what? I really don't know. It's supposed to come out tomorrow, and it's brought by Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort company.
Ryan is so smart. He's so funny. He was a kid when this was around, huh?
Yes, he was. So I have high hopes of him bringing some fun to this. I can't remember. I believe Alf had a TV movie back in the 90s, and I believe he was captured. I don't remember too much.
Did they? No, they did not do that. I missed that one. I'm not going to lie, if they had that. I remember the TV show when it was a cartoon, and then they did like the World of Alf before he came to Earth, or he went back. I don't really know. But that one I was like, that's interesting. But they kind of let it go. I don't know what happened, or I just got busy. But anyway, I know I was a kid. I was so small. Well, you know what? Good job. So Ryan, is he in charge of it, or what's going on?
As far as I know, he's his company's behind it. I'm trying to look for more information, but right now it's very minimal until I'm assuming it comes out.
Of course it is. Alf is coming back to the small screen thanks to Ryan Reynolds after revealing that he and his production company Maximum Effort were working on a Biker Mice from Mars reboot. The Canadian actor is bringing another classic back, but in different form. The report broke the news that Reynolds, associated with Alf, Paul Fusco, and studios would be a famous alien back in television as a part of some sponsor segments on the Maximum Effort channel, which is available in platforms like Fubo, Amazon Freeve, or Tubi. Oh, okay. My mom watches Tubi. I don't see it. It's not what it was when you were a kid. Anyway, because you know, but it's fun when you're a kid. The segments will be titled Maximum Moments, and here's a first look at Alf's return on it. Okay, so there it is, the Alf Maximum Effort channel. With the announcement, Reynolds shared a few words about what his intentions are with the segments and why they chose Alf as the main star. He said, quote, at Maximum, I think this is him. Yeah, at Maximum Effort, we love taking risks and blurring the lines between shows and sponsorship because we believe both can be equally entertaining. There's my irrational love of Alf growing up. Love the guy. Ryan? Oh, is this the one where you said I'm going to love him?
Yes. Shoot,
you were right. I was going to be like, I don't love him. I don't love Ryan. I have a theory, right? I do. It's a good theory. Okay. It says, besides my rational love of Alf growing up, one of the reasons we licensed this show was precisely because Paul Shout Studios and our intrepid brand partners wanted to plot with us to bring Alf back to life. Tune in this Saturday. All right. I'm happy about this. I'm happy. It's not going to be what it was for kids, unless he does it right with it. Just because if you do, there's a way to do it. I think he'll do it. I hope he does. But if you do it like the other way, it'll be like, oh, it's good for me, but it's not good for you. You got to get it kids, like, they'll go, why? Because they don't understand it. But they'll be like, and then there's people that'll be like, you eat cat? Yeah, that's what aliens do from another planet. You have to do kind of like, I don't know. I think it's a generation of you and I, Jess. But the kids of today, they're very, will they get it, do you think, Jess?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know a lot of them don't know who Alf is. He's been gone for such a long time.
Yeah, in a weird way. Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
No, I like puppets. You know, now that I'm thinking,
see, you cannot say puppet. Don't say puppet to people. As a kid, I didn't know he was a puppet. I was like, I just watched it. Granted, I hate to say this, but I had an Alf. What do you call that? Stuffed animal thing.
Same here. Guilty. I had one too.
Okay. All right. So Alf was a generation of us in the 80s. That's the answer. 90s too, by the way, I think. Anyway, or was it the 80s? No, 90s I was in high school, so it had to be the 80s. Yeah, because I think I was too cool for that. And yeah. It was the 80s. So it was the 80s show. They're all coming back. Remember the one with the little girl?
I am surprised you remember that.
Which one am I talking about, though? Because they had several.
You're talking about the one girl where she like lives in a closet and she's a robot, right?
Yes, she would come out. You remember that? What's it called, Jess?
I want to say Small Wonder.
That is it. Oh, you were good. You were good. I'm telling you, just knows stuff. Okay, yeah, that's the one. I was looking for it the other day, and I go, they need to bring that back, and they have to do it with like that one. Kids will get that. I don't know if they get it. That's when TV was a thing and it was on, and then you'd be like, you know, my dad did not like me watching it because he was like, they make parents look dumb. That's what he wanted to say, you know, and they do, but it's called a show, man. He didn't want me talking like they would. I think that was the answer. How they would talk. He was like, don't talk back to me. You know, that was the answer. But I was like, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. You're right, because kids get little things. They go, that's where you're getting from. Is that show? I'm like, dude, it's, you know. I had a crush on her because when you're a kid, you have crushes. Did you ever have a crush on her, Jess, or anyone else?
No, not her. I was still a little kid, so no, not in that time period.
Oh, you're younger than me. I forgot about that. You're like, ugh, girls, right? Right? Or were you? I don't know. When you're a kid, you have certain crushes. They grow up, you go, awesome, we're the same age, right? You don't have a crush when they're young, although you see them, you go, wait a minute, they're old now, right? Because you're the same age. I think, was I younger than her at the time? I forget who plays her. Anyway, I had a crush on her, not gonna lie. But Punky, I did not have a crush on Punky Brewster. Had no crush on her. I was like, don't get it. I didn't get that one. Did you get that one?
No, I watched the show, or I knew of it, but I wasn't like a heavy watcher of it.
And then they did a crossover. Remember Different Strokes? They did a crossover with Punky. I was like, how did that happen? Right? They were like putting them all together, and I was like, what? You know, and then the 90210 craze came, and I was like, I'm out of it. And then, you know, later I was on it. I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. So anyway, but that's that. I remember 90210 came, and it kind of, that was the high school generation, which I was actually a part of. But there was a girl, whatever, who was watching, you know, I was interested in her, she was interested in me, whatever. But she was like, hey, by the way, 90210, it's a thing. And I go, really? And then it was a thing. But I wasn't in it, and then later, like years later, I was in it. So I should have been like, hey, I know the guy, like, you know, because they're there on the set, you know, all of them. But man, remember when they were heartthrobs then, Jess?
Yeah, back in you know what I missed? Let's see. It was mostly during the 80s and 90s, the intro songs to television shows. We don't have that as much anymore, but man, I really love some of those intro songs, like the X-Men and all those other ones. We don't have it. Like if you hear the music, boom, you go back to that song. I can't do that nowadays because a lot of shows don't have theme songs.
Okay, so that's the answer, Jess. Anyway, yeah, look, they're fun, they're amazing. You're right. They don't put as much effort into these. It's not like the moment you hear, you go, oh, I want to go see that. You know, I know we were a generation where we were just, I know. You got to watch what kids are watching. They go, okay, I get it, but you got to make it fun like the '80s. There's a way to do it without bringing, '80s, because you got to do it the new way, but you got to put more time. I think, like you just said, they put more time in those. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, because some of that makes the movie, by the way. There's that right, or any one of those makes it into like the X-Men, and you go, oh, where did they get that from? The TV show. That's when Fox was doing some pretty good animation. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the animation. It was kind of, and then they did Youngblood, and they did some other stuff that I was like, okay. Where's Youngblood at? They need to bring that back. The Damonites, right? They need to bring that, right? Was that Youngblood or was that the other one? I always get them confused. Anyway, Image needs to go next level. They got bought. Did you know Image got bought, Jess?
No, but it does not surprise me.
DC, but DC should go next level with that. They should bring them. That's the movie that people want to see. They'd be like, that's DC? Yeah. And then, yeah, they didn't do that. Youngblood. Or what's the other one that I like? Oh, Wildcats. That was the Damonites. That was the Wildcats. It was Wildcats. It sounds like Thunder Ho. Where's that going, Jess?
Which one?
Thundercats. Yo. Or ho. Which he cannot say anymore because there's so many women going, are you talking about me?
Okay, so do you know what I realized about Thundercats?
What?
So when he breaks out that giant sword and he points the giant red laser, the cats are following the laser like they do in real life.
Don't say that to them. No, they don't want you. No, quiet. They're like, we're doing that. No, they're not. That's called, no, it's not the laser, Jess. It's the eye of, what's his name?
It's called the Eye of Thundara, but it's still a red laser, which is summoning kitty cats in real life.
Meow. Remember the little guy? Remember he was like, we need to do that show, Jess. Seriously, we need to audition. I think, okay. Jess, get it. Okay, here it is. Okay. You're a cat. There's a moment, and or maybe there's not a moment. Okay, you're a cat. There's a person in the room. He wants to attack. What do you do?
You attack. I've seen guard cats.
Okay, you had it. It was right there when you say I saw guard cats. It almost came out. Now, okay. Now here it is, Jess. Here it is. You ready? Okay. Now say I know.
I know.
What would you do if you got attacked right now?
By a cat?
No, by a person.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably be screaming. Why, someone behind me? Oh, man, don't say that.
All right. So what would you do as a cat?
I'd probably attack the person.
Yeah, and what would you say to him?
I wouldn't meow, meow, meow.
That's you, man. Man, I wish you guys could see us on the radio. Okay, Jess. Okay, here it is. Right? Now, the guy comes in. He's bad. All right? And he hates you. Right? And he goes, where are the Thundercats? What do you say?
I'm not going to say that word.
Say it.
Meow, meow.
All right, good job. Meow, meow. That's what you do, Jess. That's what you do. So, meow, meow. And you'll get it. You'll get the rest, tell you. But anyway, that was the fun. Okay, so that's the fun, all right? If you say, I know, it'll come out. I guarantee it. There's fun, all right? And it's trapped in our subconscious. I have so many theories on that. And so we have a little time. But here's what I'm going to say, okay? If you say, I know, just like Jess did, there are things that will come out of his words. And all of a sudden he knows information about a lot of stuff. I guarantee it. Especially, Thundercats. I'll give you another example. Okay, here it is. Jess, question. Okay, now, there's a certain cat that you like. Which one do you like?
In the Thundercats?
Yes.
I like to do with the nunchucks, Panthro.
Okay, Panthro came in the room, and he says, hey, by the way, I need something. What would you do?
I would say, whatever you need, I'll give it to you.
Okay, that's awesome. Now he gets kind of on your nerve because he kind of makes you do everything for him, and he has you, what do you do?
Knowing that he's still part cat, I would throw catnip at him.
That is so smart. Meow. Would it affect him is the question, since he has cat gene in him or cat mutated gene in him. That's what they are. They're mutated cats. That's the answer. So if you say to someone, that's just a story, I go, no, it's not. There are cats that are mutated with DNA of man. That's why they look man-ish. But somehow they forgot. So they were a lab experiment that went bad. That's why the whole place that's how you do it. And it makes sense to kids. You go, there was a world, they mutated the gene, and they did experiments. And then that's what it is. But it goes back to old century, because everybody pretty much is dead. They wake up in the middle at the laboratory, you put them, or somewhere else, I don't know. And then you have Thundar, right? You have, what are the other characters, Jess?
Let's see. You have Lionel, Panthro, Chitara, Tigro, Wily Kit, Wily Cat, and I think I've seen that show too much. There's a bunch of others, but I can't remember their names right now.
Okay, so Wily. Okay, Wily's in the room. Wily says, "Meow." What do you say?
Yeah. I do not know. But if you're talking about that little annoying cat, that's Snarf.
Okay, but you said Riley. It was weird. All right. So Snarf says, "Meow." What does he do?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to choke him because he's annoying.
Aww. He says, "Wow." What do you do?
I have no idea.
Now he goes, "Wow."
That'd be crazy if. I wonder if. Oh, do you think they would be able to make that into a live action movie?
Yes, that's the answer. They were working on it. Where did it go, Jess?
It turned into cat. Okay, that's what happened to it.
That's why it won't work. Don't do a musical on a cat. Okay, anyway, I'm sure if they were alive today, they'd be like, how dare you? Anyway, all right, there you go. There's the answer. Okay, we're out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. And remember, this is our last episode, so we'll see you probably never. But watch Thursday. We're on. It's called Everything Entertainment. All right, Hollywood Live today. Ding. Bye, everyone.